Well, do you love cats? Do you love dogs? Well, then stay right there. Don't go away. We're going to be on point with some of your very, very furry friends, so stay right there. And thank you for being here on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Ken Kudrowski, you're on point. And before we do anything else this morning, I want to thank you for your time being here, watching this show this morning, and being faithful viewers of this program. Really appreciate it. And I wish I could be there, but we're doing this virtually with the Humane Society of Harford County. And with us this morning is Aaron Long, who's in charge of publicity and all that good stuff for marketing at the Humane Society. Aaron, hello. Good morning. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Ken. How are you?
Well, good. And who's your friend there?
This is Fluff, and she's very anxious to explore the room that we're in right now. So she's probably not going to be on camera with us for very long, but that's okay.
Well, she's not a, well, of course she couldn't be a publicity hound, but she doesn't even want to be a publicity feline.
She's a meow media maven.
Well, let me talk to her for a second. Meow, 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 meow. There you go. That's the extent of my Catanese. So there you go. Well, let's get serious here. We had a chance to visit on location a number of months ago, and it's nice to be back with you, even though it's virtually now. So there have been a number of things going on. You guys are busy, so busy at the Humane Society, and there's been a lot of wonderful news coming out of your place. So why don't we start off with this release that I'm aware of, and that is, and give me the background on it, because obviously you know a lot more. The 90% release rate. Tell me about that and why that's so important.
Yes, we have been very busy, and we're very proud of this 90% live release rate that we've attained. This is a 5th straight year. And what live release rate basically means in the sheltering world is that 90% of the animals that come to us have left the shelter alive. And that is kind of the gold standard in the sheltering world, is to attain the 90%. So we're incredibly proud of it. And so 90% of the animals were either adopted, they were lost, they came into the shelter lost and were reclaimed by their owner, or they were released from the shelter into the care of a local rescue group.
So all shelters are not created equal, and there are probably other shelters out there in the big wide world who can't get anywhere near the 90%.
Yeah, for a number of reasons, it's difficult for them, but yeah, that's kind of what we're all aiming for. Not that those shelters are bad or doing something wrong in any way. It basically just means that maybe they don't have the support, or they don't have some programs and services that are pretty vital in order to help out. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what that means. And yeah, we took in last year, our intake was down pretty significantly. I'm not sure if it was due to the pandemic, probably was, but we took in about 2,100 animals last year. Normally it's around 3,000, so that was good. So that means that we adopted out about 820 animals last year. We returned about 325 animals to their owner, and then we released about 530 animals into local rescue groups.
And these local rescue groups then have the responsibility of finding a forever home for those dogs and kitties.
That is right. Yeah, there's a lot of breed-specific rescues. There's cat rescues. There's a rescue for every different type of animal that you can imagine. And so, yeah, we're constantly working with them and rotating animals out of the shelter and into their care.
Okay. Well, then that's a wonderful, wonderful achievement for the Humane Society of Harford County, that release rate. And now that rolls right into the next thing that I'd like to talk to you about, is that you don't look 75 years old, but that's how long the organization's been around. And wow, to get to be 75 years old, helping out all the furry friends in Harford County, that is a major, major milestone achievement. So tell us about that.
Yeah, we're very proud of that, and so we turned 75 officially on February 5th of this year, but we're going to be celebrating all year. But I kind of want to go back to 1946 when we were started, if you would allow me.
Oh, please do.
I could talk all day about it. I am a little bit of a history nerd, and so I love to talk about our founder, Mrs. Elsa Horn-Voss. She was born in the Pittsburgh area. She lived on Long Island. She was a socialite. So as you can imagine, in the 20s and 30s when she was growing up, it was the roaring 20s. I can imagine her being, a little bit of a flapper. And running in circles with all of the socialites of the day. But she adored animals, and her family was very involved in horse racing out on Long Island. And that is actually where she met her husband, Edward Voss. And they were running in with the horses and all of these people, and they decided that they wanted to move out of Long Island and come down to Maryland. And so they bought their farm, Atlanta Hall Farm in Moncton, and she continued, building their farm and their racehorses. And in the 40s, she banded with a group of citizens. She was very, very concerned about animals that were running around, in Moncton and Fallston and throughout the county. And so she borrowed a property out in Jarrettsville and was keeping dogs out there that were homeless. And in about 1945, she acquired the property that we are currently on in Fallston. And they fixed it up and everything. And in 1946, like I said, February 5th, 1946 was the day. And we opened up and started to accept, we initially were only accepting dogs, but then we started to accept cats as well. And the shelter quickly filled up. We had caretakers, Sid and Ruth Boniface, that lived on the property. There was a farmhouse that they lived in. And so basically we were a 24/7 operation back then, and people could bring animals at any time, day or night. And the Bonifaces would accept those animals and get them settled into the kennels and the cages and all of that. And so that's pretty much all about our humble beginnings. Mrs. Voss, I always tell people if there was somebody that I could go back and, and have lunch with, either living or deceased, she's definitely on my list. I think she was a really neat lady, because you got to think, back in the 30s and the 40s when she started all of this, women were expected to get married, have children, stay in the home, and that wasn't what she was all about. She was a mover and a shaker. She got things done. We have scrapbooks that she kept wonderful scrapbooks, and we know she was writing letters to not just people that were here in Harford County. She was writing people that were making laws in Annapolis. She was even going, to the federal level and trying to change the way that animals were treated. And she was a pioneer. She was awarded a Humanitarian Award by the Humane Society of the United States. She was actually helped to found the Humane Society of the United States. And she was just amazing. She's my hero.
Wow. I didn't know that Superwoman had lived in Harford County. Just an amazing story. So if I understood you correctly, the Humane Society really started in the Jarrettsville area.
It did. We don't know exactly where. It was the Albert Hughes farm in Jarrettsville is all we know. We don't know where that farm was. No clue. But yeah, she must have borrowed maybe some stalls there, some horse stalls, or maybe some, where they kept the cows. I'm not really sure, but she kept dogs there.
And when did you make the move to Conley Road in Falston?
It was, we think, sometime in maybe the latter part of 1945, so that they could open in February of 1946.
Gotcha. Well, then, if you will, then actually the whole Humane Society movement is in Harford County is older than 75 years. If they had its humble beginnings in Jarrettsville, and then they moved the show to Falston, so it could be almost closer to 80 years altogether, if I can do some quick mathematical figuring out, which is a dangerous thing for me to do, but it sounds really, really good to me. The other thing that you mentioned, and I'm so glad that you corrected it, because you just started out taking care of dogs, and I know if there would have been social media at the time, people would have been tweeting all the time about that Humane Society who only took care of dogs, and the cats would have protested and all that. So I'm glad you corrected that. But of course, we didn't have to worry. Nobody had to worry about social media in 1945. That's for sure.
That's right.
So, and now it's not just dogs and cats, but it's turtles and rabbits and chickens and pigs. I remember all those animals hanging around the Humane Society, and probably a lot of other animals that I've forgotten about.
Yeah, we're an open admission shelter. So basically what that means is any animal in Harford County that is homeless, is found as a stray animal, or that families can no longer take care of, that's what we're here for. So yeah, in addition to dogs and cats, it's small and furry critters like guinea pigs and rabbits, ferrets, chinchillas. It's reptiles, snakes, turtles, iguanas, things like that. And then it's also farm animals, pigs, goats, chickens, roosters. I could go on, you name it.
You're being upstaged by that kitty right now.
That's Flufflo.
Yeah, she's crawling around behind your signage. It's great. There's no business like show business. She really wanted her 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, I've learned, when it comes to animals, you never know what's going to happen. Anything goes, and you just roll with it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of doing a show like this. Well, now,
right.
Just like I talked with you on the previous program, you can't do this for free. There has to be a way to pay the freight. Oh, there you go. Oh, all right. I'm going to stop what I'm talking about. What's the bunny's name?
I'm upstaging you.
That's okay. That's okay. It's their show. What?
This is Peter.
Go ahead.
This is Peter Rabbit. So
the Peter Rabbit.
Yes, that's why I leaned away. I thought, we're talking about all of these other animals besides cats and dogs, and this is one such animal that we take care of. We get bunny rabbits pretty frequently, and we're a little camera shy, but that's okay. And yeah, we're very proud. I sometimes wonder, what did people do in the 40s, before the shelter was accepting these little guys and girls. And I'm so glad, that we take care of all animals here. We have a place, we have a barn, and we have places for our chickens, friends to go, and all creatures great and small.
There you go. There's a book title for you. All
yeah,
right.
There you go.
Well, he looks very much at home on TV. Very much at home.
I think so.
Well, now that you're holding Peter Rabbit, and it is getting to be towards spring, so he's very appropriate on TV here.
Mhm.
So you got to pay the freight. You got to pay the freight, Aaron. They don't give you the electricity for free. They don't give you the heat for free. They don't give you the kibble and the meal and everything else that you provide for free. So you've got to bring in the money. I know that Harford County gives you something, but you've got to find a way to bring in the rest of it. So you are a very well-known charity in Harford County. And please tell me, and I agree with the title, I agree with this award or whatever you want to call it, but you've been named Harford County's best charity. So, and again, I don't have any argument with that. I agree. But how do you get to be Harford County's best charity? Tell me about that.
Sure. And we've been named best charity 8 years in a row, Ken, which is such an honor to us because there are so many wonderful, worthy charities here in Harford County. So, that's not an honor that we take lightly. But basically, it's Harford Magazine, and they do this best of contest every year, and they ask their readers to vote. And they have a bunch of different categories, and so that's how we won. And again, we don't take it lightly, and we are incredibly humbled that people support us from year to year, and we do our absolute best with the resources that we have. We're so thankful for the support that we get from the community so we can continue to do what we do for another 75 years.
It is. It's an amazing tribute to you, to everybody who works there or volunteers there. And of course, it's a wonderful facility over there on Connolly Road. I know that with the COVID going around, you probably still can't have as many people visiting as you might have had in the past. But really, when this virus goes away, I think that I want to invite people for you to come on down and take a look at your facilities when the time is right, because it's if I was a dog or a cat, I'd want to stay there for a while. It's really a great place. It really is, and everybody who works there treats the furry friends with such love and care and everything else. It's so heartwarming. It really is. You guys just don't talk about it. You walk the walk and do all that stuff, and really. So now that we know that you're Harford County's award-winning best charity, what do you have coming up? What are some ways that people can donate some hard-earned cash to you so you can take better care of Peter Rabin and friends?
Yeah, and thank you for your kind words, Ken. Yeah, we always walk around and say to each other, #ShelterLife, because that is what we're all about. And, we try to make it a home here for the animals, a temporary home. So if anybody that's watching wants to help out, obviously we take monetary donations. We're about a $1.3 million a year organization. We do get some help from the county because we do accept the county strays. But there's a gap, and because of COVID, we haven't been able to have. We have one signature event a year now because of COVID, where we did have 4. So to make up that gap, we do need monetary donations. We do have a wish list on our website, which is harfordshelter.org, and donations are gladly accepted. Although we're doing adoptions by appointment only, we aren't open to the public right now. We do have a cart outside of our front door during business hours, and you can ring our doorbell and get your donation receipt because everything's tax deductible. We're having, if I can plug it real quick, we're having a virtual kitten shower on April 10th. That's at 2:00, and it's just going to be about an hour. Our foster coordinator is going to talk all about how to foster all of these neonatal kittens that are going to be coming into the shelter very quickly because the weather's starting to get warm. So Everything's on our website again, hartfordshelter.org, about how to help. We're looking for foster parents that can take these little vulnerable kittens into their home and raise them up until they're 8 weeks old and can come back and be adopted. So that's a great way to help.
How about volunteers? Do they just dial the phone number or go online if they'd like to volunteer?
Well, currently, again, because of COVID restrictions, our volunteer program has been suspended. We're trying to keep, our staff as healthy, as healthy as possible, so that they can be here to take care of the animals. So just as soon as things kind of ease up a little bit, hopefully, we'll start accepting volunteers again. But as of now, we do have on our website, we have a list of projects and things that you can do from home. Making enrichment toys for the animals. If you have a child that needs community service for school, go on the website, download some project ideas, and get crafty at home to help the animals and keep them enriched while they're here.
Well, I could volunteer to come on down and pet Peter Rabbit on the head. That seems like it'd be a very good job. I think I'm qualified for that. What nice eyes Peter has. Wow. And those ears. And I wish I could do that with my nose. Wish I could do that with my nose like he does it.
And what you can't feel, Ken, is this bunny is like velvety soft. Very soothing.
I bet he is.
Yeah.
I bet he is.
Wonderful.
I envy you your job that you have there as a marketing coordinator for the Harford County Humane Society, or the Humane Society of Harford County. I have to get it right. All right, Aaron Long, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Rabbit, for being with me here on Point. I just got to smile. I just have to smile. Wasn't that great? Aaron Long with Peter Rabbit. With Fluff. Your heart has to melt, doesn't it? That is so great. That rabbit really has a lot of stage presence. And I'm just afraid that rabbit's going to take over this show and take it right away from me. He was so personable. If that rabbit talks, I'm in a lot of trouble. But anyway, let's move on here. So I hope that you've listened to what Aaron had to say about the history of the place. Wow, 75 years old, starting in Jarrettsville, moving to Falston, serving, all of Harford County. It's so great. And if you don't live in Harford County, you have to have a Humane Society near you. So Google it. Google the one in Cecil County, in York County, in Chester County, or if you're watching on YouTube, anywhere in the United States, look up that Humane Society, volunteer, give them money. Help all those doggies and kitties out. You'll feel so good doing it. You really, really will. And so it was just fun talking to, like I say, Aaron, Peter Rabbit, Fluff, and the cast of thousands down there at the Humane Society of Harford County. Just so great having that opportunity. And of course, I'm Ken Kiedrowski, thanking you for being here, because you've been on point.